While exploring the well in New Atlantis, you find a woman by the name of Louisa standing right outside the medbay, who gives you the mission tapping the grid.
There are always about a million things to do, and I'm only one person. It's so overwhelming. Hey! Oh, you're not Carl. Sorry, I shouldn't assume. Maybe you go by Carl. You're just not the Carl I was waiting for. We're supposed to be investigating a power drain down here. People have been reporting brownouts for a while, and Mass finally decided to follow up on it. I can't be in two places at once, and Carl isn't here, so I'm just trying to look inconspicuous.
From here, we're given 4 options. To start off, we'll go with the obvious of who's Carl?
Co-worker of mine on this assignment with me, clearly not taking it seriously. Not really surprising. Most folks are fine with ignoring what goes on down here.
What exactly are you investigating?
We're trying to isolate a power drain, which looks like it's the result of a large amount of power being rerouted through various subsystems. But it's kind of a two-person job. Someone needs to find the junction boxes associated with those subsystems and power them down. The other person needs to monitor the system remotely. It's pretty simple, really, and relatively safe. Only a small chance of electrocution.
From here, we're left with 2 options. Either to leave the mission or accept a helper. She seems pretty nice. Louisa, I would be happy to assist you.
Well, since you're here and Carl isn't, and I really want to get this solved, I will take you up on that. What I need is very technical. I can talk you through it remotely. I'm gonna head to the monitoring station. The first box we're looking for is over near UC Surplus. You know, Antonio's place. I can contact you once you get there.
The monitoring station is off to the right. We'll meet up with Louisa there later. For now, she says the first box is located near the UC Surplus. Before heading out, let's take a moment to read the mission log. I've agreed to help Louisa Riaz track down a power drain in the well in New Atlantis. I need to locate a series of power junction boxes and turn them off. Heading down the hallway marked exit on our left, we find UC Surplus, also on our left. The first junction box is on the wall to the right. We hear a familiar voice as we get closer.
Hey, can you hear me? I think this is working. I only have a general view of things, but you should be near the first junction box. Look for it mounted on the wall. When you find it, open it up and flip the big switch. That's it. Great job. So that tripped the secondary breaker, and that goes to... Oh, wow, really? They wired it like that? Jeez, okay. Okay, got it. Next one is way down past Jake's, and maybe up a story or two? It's a bit of a hike. Sorry.
While she's not wrong that it's by Jake's, it's better to say that it's behind the closed bulkhead to the left of the kids playing soccer and up the stairs.
Alright, you should be near the next junction box. This section isn't used very much these days, so it may be a little harder to see. That's the one. Next one's not too far. Dead end, right down from Jake's. Right under that apartment they've been trying to sell. Good luck with that, right?
This one is more in line with what she said before about being by Jake's. It's literally in the same alley.
You should be near the next junction box. And if those squatters never cleared out, I would suggest avoiding eye contact. It should be fine.
I have no idea what squatters she's talking about. I went through this mission twice just to see and never ran into any.
Another switch flipped, another lead to follow. And the lights in here just flickered too. The wiring is worse than I thought. I'm going to work on fixing that little issue while you find the next junction box. Looks like it's over near the Trade Authority. Okay, just find that and, maybe don't talk to anyone about it just yet.
This one is behind the Trade Authority up the stairs to the left.
Okay, the final box I need you to deal with should be right around there. Unfortunately, I just realized you're in for a real tangle of cabling. Like 200 years of field attempts to rewire things. I tried to fix it 3 years back and was crying by the second day. Gave up on the third. Anyway, there should be a series of secondary breakers you need to deal with before you can access the junction box. I don't remember the order, but flip levers until all those circuits are powered down.
Oh, great. A puzzle. I ended up going through this twice, and it does seem that the combination changes with each playthrough. Though, that could have just been that I messed it up the second time, making things much harder for myself.
Wow, you got it. Really well done. You saved me like a week of work. Why didn't you meet me at the monitoring station, near where we met?
The monitoring station she's talking about is just up the set of stairs to the right of where we first met Louisa. There's really not much in here. There's a novice locked safe, which will open in a few moments, and some interesting art on the whiteboard.
Did I say thank you? Because thank you. There's no way I could have done that in a reasonable amount of time all by myself.
Before us are a few different paths we could go down here. We could have shown a level of worry and expressed our concern that we just made things worse. Could have been sarcastic in stating that we just wasted our time, or gone down the mercenary route and demanded compensation. Instead, I'm going to pick the option that best coincides with how I'm playing this character, and choose that we were happy to help her.
Well, not everyone would be, and I appreciate it. Thanks to your help, I was able to trace the power drain. I know where it's coming from. Unfortunately, the source is exactly where I was afraid it was. The Trade Authority. So, that's something that I'll need to deal with. That'll be fun. If you want to tag along, I certainly wouldn't complain, but if not, then this is where we part ways.
Aw man, the Trade Authority. It seems like this building is coming up a lot lately. While we for sure are going to continue to help her, I do want to take a crack at that safe right after grabbing the hidden digipick in this locker. Inside, all we find are some credits, but a pretty decent amount. Heading back down the stairs, we'll catch up with Louisa.
So thanks to you, we've got evidence that the Trade Authority is behind the power drain being reported down here. I don't know if you ever dealt with the Trade Authority, but Zoe is intimidating. And I have to go in there, but I really don't want to. You think you'd be willing to go with me? Just make sure this doesn't go badly?
She seems pretty worried. I wonder what type of person Zoe is. Well, Louisa, I've been with you this far. I've got your back. Once we get to the Trade Authority, we follow Louisa up the stairs and into the lobby, where she starts a conversation with Zoe.
A visit from Mast. How delightful. You'll have to remind me of your name, dear. I'm afraid I can't keep track of all you little worker drones.
I'm Louisa Reyes. Well, you know that, because I've been in here 3 times.
Yes, of course you are. And what was it you were accusing me of with absolutely no evidence?
The power drain is coming from your building, Zoe. You and I both know it, and now I can prove it.
I'm sorry, what?
We traced the drain, checked the grid. It led us here. You can't talk your way out of this.
I'm going to ask you to wait here a moment. I'll be right back.
After that interaction, I get a strange feeling from her. Almost like bugs crawling on my skin.
Okay, just be ready for anything. I don't know if she's going to come out of there with a gun or call in mercenaries or what. I don't want this to turn out violent if we can avoid it, okay?
Again, we get 4 choices. We can reassure her that she's not overreacting. We can agree that things could get rough. We could go the hard route and state that while we won't fire the first shot, we will fire the last. Or just relax. Everything is going to be fine. From the weird feeling that I got from Zoe and past experience in video games, I opted for I won't fire the first shot, but I will fire the last one.
That's dramatic, but reassuring, I guess.
Man, Louisa, rude. After all we've been through, I was not expecting to be judged like that.
Well, Miss Reyes, I apologize for not taking this matter more seriously. I assure you I will eagerly assist in getting to the bottom of this.
No, you're not weaseling out of this. We got to the bottom of it. You are the bottom.
I appreciate your enthusiasm for your work, but I do a little more research before casting aspersions. Someone has indeed been using this location through which to route electrical power. It is not the Trade Authority. I've had my suspicions for a while, and have been keeping detailed notes, which I'm happy to share with you. For now, though, what do we do next?
Wait, what?
Oh, for heaven's sake. I presume you've been assisting Miss Reyes in tracking down this little problem.
Indeed I have.
Well, clearly there's more work to be done. Why don't you continue the work you've been doing with an assurance that the Trade Authority will compensate you for your time? I'll coordinate things here with Miss Reyes. With Mast's access to the grid, we'll find out who did this soon enough. And why. Presumably, you're the one who's been doing the field work, so I believe you'll find there's another junction box out there in the well that needs your attention.
Just keep adding to that smarmy feeling, Zoe.
Okay, well, this is not how I saw this going. For the moment, let's assume this is all legitimate. I can sort out the details with Zoe. So why don't you go investigate the next junction box? Hey, I thought you were out there, solving this.
I haven't even left yet. Calm down. The next junction box is up the stairs to the right of the Trade Authority, over by the kids' soccer field and straight above your head. The easiest way to get to it is to head down the hall past Jake's towards Medical, till you get to a sign labeled Upper Level. At the top of the stairs, take the path on the right and follow it all the way to the end. Oh look, another box. I have a feeling that we'll be back to you in a little bit. Continuing on down the path, once you get close to the box, we'll hear Louisa's voice again.
Hey there. You should be getting close.
Hello? Is this functional? I insist that you provide updates for any suspicious activity. Is that clear?
And Zoe's here too, if you hadn't guessed. We've agreed to work together on this. Once you throw the switch, we can direct you to the next junction box.
Don't believe I agreed for Zoe to be on this call, but okay, sure.
That's it, thanks. Let's just take a look here. Okay, you're going to want to head for box 45A. It should be near Apex Electronics.
You can't possibly be serious. Are you looking at the same diagram I am? 47B is obviously the next one. It's on the same level.
Zoe, I know how to read. Ignore her. Head for box 45A, okay?
Yeah. After that interaction with Zoe, there's no question we're going to 45A. To get there, we'll just jump down to the main floor.
Performing that feat regularly could lead to permanent injury.
Thank you, Fosco. It's really good to know that you're looking after my health and well-being. 45A is, once again, near the Trade Authority. This time, though, above Apex Electronics.
Thank you for trusting that a lifelong employee of MAS knows what she's talking about.
Oh, please.
I'm sure you can handle whatever challenge might be associated with reaching the box. You're doing great. And that was indeed the correct junction box. See that, Zoe?
Yes, fine. Let's move on.
Okay, just making sure you saw it. So, now things get interesting. I can't find the next spot on any of my current diagrams.
And I can begrudgingly confirm that she's reading them correctly. We've reached the conclusion that it must be somewhere on the surface, outside the well. Miss Reyes has suggested that this means it's somehow no longer her responsibility. I frankly don't care. I want to find this person.
And here's where I begrudgingly agree with Zoe. It's not technically my problem at this point, but I want to see where this trail leads. If you head topside, I'll pull the diagrams we'll need and contact you.
From my perspective, it still would be under Louisa's jurisdiction. She was tasked with finding the leak, even if it does lead us to the surface.
Miss Reyes is still collecting the necessary diagrams and blueprints to accurately assess the situation. Before she returns, I'm going to make you an offer. Whatever you find at the end of this path, you bring it to me first. I'll be certain that Mast gets what it needs. But I trade in valuable information. I suspect you're going to find some. I guarantee you the Trade Authority will pay well. Consider that as you head towards the residential district. We can't pinpoint the source yet, but it's somewhere over there.
There it is. There's the trickster behind all the sleazy feelings. Zoe wants us to betray Louisa and come to her with the data first. Depending on your character, money may be the end-all be-all. For me, Zoe's been straight with us since the very beginning. I can't in good conscience turn against her. Once we arrive in the residential district, we'll head to the left towards Apollo Towers. The place we're looking for is CJ's. The box is located on the outside, just to the right of the doors.
Well, that's unexpected. Powering down that junction doesn't show any other connections.
Clearly, the source that residential tower.
Yeah, that would make sense. You know, I think I remember seeing a report about power problems on one of the upper floors. I bet it's related. See if you can get up there.
Must it, Zoe? Must it? I get the feeling she knows more than she's letting on. Heading up the elevator in Athena Tower Apartments, we're taken to an upper floor which seems to be a penthouse. It's the only apartment on the floor. The door is locked with a novice level lock. Once inside, we're immediately hit with an uneasy feeling. The apartment is either abandoned or half moved in. To the right we see a kitchen with no food, and items strewn everywhere. Heading into the living room, we see broken furniture. Across the apartment is a bathroom with nothing notable, a door we can't open, and a bedroom with a bonsai tree, an exotic bottle next to a jack of hearts. Perhaps this person had a social life, followed by a book on neon gang culture. Perhaps they were involved in one of the neon gangs. Other books in the apartment are The Comet, Hard Times, and The Orchard Merchant. Guess they like flowers. Outside of that, there's really nothing notable here. With nothing else of note in this apartment, let's take a look at what's on the computer. Before us are 3 entries. The first one. Program update. Program status paused. Current slicing target ATM trans fee. Location New Atlantis. Slicing value 0.001 credits/transactions. Total value 305,326.130. The second one is called Download Files. Downloading to external device. And with it, we get new evidence to bring forward to Louisa or Zoe. The last entry is called Recent Messages. Dodgson. My guys got creative with the rewiring. You should have all the juice you need to run the program non-stop. So stop messaging me and get to work. I expect my cut soon. And keep the damn door locked. Last thing we need is someone poking around. Even if Galbank notices the missing funds, they won't have a way to trace it. They'll call it a malfunction and wipe the record, like they always do. Money's all digital anyway. They can literally just make as much as they want. Newman. It sounds like this group is trying to pull a Superman and skim a little from the top. Backing out of the terminal, we now have a difficult choice to make. We can either give the information to Zoe and get a nice payday, or we can continue with what we were doing all along and just helping Louisa. I've decided that for this one, I'm going to be helping Louisa. So for this, we need to head towards the Embassy District and look for the Mast building. Once we're inside, we need to go down to the lower level of Mast, where we will take an elevator back down to the well. Once down in the well, they are both located again at the Trade Authority.
Have you got the data? So you tracked it down. You've got something to show for it?
Talking to Louisa, we're given 3 choices. The bottom 2 take us back out of the dialogue tree. Only the top one continues with her version of the story. So we'll go with, yep, here you go.
Great. I'll get this back to Mass for analysis. I'm not stupid. I know Zoe probably made you an offer. I appreciate that you didn't take it. And I'm really glad we got to work together on this. Looks like maybe they did. Still want to claim you had nothing to do with this, Zoe?
My dear, why in the world would I want to break the law? And Galbank, no less. I do quite enough business with them as it is.
All right. Well, I'll have some people look over this. Maybe they'll be in touch.
I very much doubt that.
See you around. I have 3 projects that are backburnered right now because no one has time to help me. 3! I totally understand that Mast has a tremendous amount to keep track of. I just wish it wasn't always my work that falls through the cracks. They said they were going to bring someone on to help out. Take some of the load off me. They said that 2 years ago.
I feel really bad for Louisa. Having 3 projects and no one to help her, even though Mast promised help 2 years ago. We can all empathize with her. This is the last we get from her during this mission. I hope she finds the help she's asking for. With that, we'll read the mission log once more to finish out this video. Tapping the grid. I helped Louisa Reyes as she investigated a power drain in the well in New Atlantis. By deactivating a series of junction boxes, she was able to trace the source of the power drain to the Trade Authority. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I put a ton of work into it and really enjoyed making it. If you liked it, please hit that like button and subscribe for future Starfield lore videos. And may the stars guide you home.